This video is a little bit like kicking vulnerable animals. I'm not trying to be mean to the person, although a lot of people would agree with doing so. But I'll just cover this quickly. On the 20th of this month, about a week ago, at Seattle, Washington State sea-tac Airport, Gate D10, or another gate, you might have been coming from another one, an American Airlines flight to Dallas-Fort Worth was loading passengers and was interrupted by a person screaming various things. Police officers arrested this individual, who has, now this is an unconfirmed report because of course it's sealed and expunged, but the information has been made available, so I'm not sure that this is going to be a problem for me to say. This individual was declared legally incompetent, meaning this person is not considered to have the maturity or wherewithal to be able to stand trial for anything of any merit. The individual has at least two incidents, probably when he was in high school and after, of doing things basically to attack people. But this individual has been declared legally incompetent, declared literal incompetence in a court case, twice, several years apart. Professing himself to be a neo-Nazi socialist, UFO mind control reptilian hater, among other things, as well as saying that they're bodybuilder and constantly asserting that certain aspects of a human being are affected by steroids. I'll just leave that part out and you can derive it. This individual started a self-promotional website, a vanity website, October 16th of 2020, while claiming to start a political party, calling himself, he's the only member, the Christian Workers Party, where he embedded a 2020 December vimeo of him ranting in almost the same way that is seen in the video you may have seen of him at the airport. He had attended in Washington State, Bonney Lake High School and Auburn Riverside High Schools. He has some sort of social media presence, which is really just a duplicate of the stuff he put up on his website he put up. Now that's the entire video. There is nothing about this person that is worth a second going over. The two key factors are people are saying that he's a person who is vulnerable and mentally challenged and should be given the benefit of the doubt. And the other group of people saying that he's literally screaming about killing off large numbers of people and whatever else he read off the internet. It looks as if he's simply repeating and parroting other information off the internet. And he's been doing it for a while now. It's not that the individual is not competent enough to know what the consequences are. This individual is doing this for attention and for the consequences. He got what he wanted to. This individual's probably looked on the internet and seen people do public freakouts at an airport, which we've all seen and we all laugh at. They get lots of page views. And decided to do the same thing. This isn't any different than any other person doing this on purpose to be arrested so that they can become internet famous. This is an individual who is getting no attention from an entire website he put up for the last 2 years, easily. While you can look at it if you want to. I'll have a few archives that are fairly heavily obfuscated, just in case YouTube wants to flag them, that show that he's been attempting to do what I call non-productive or attention-seeking trolling. He is a troll. It doesn't matter if you believe that this individual knows what he's saying or doesn't, or if you truly believe he doesn't believe there are consequences for his actions. He's seeking them out. In a polite society like we have in the United States, not like the Portland that one of my friends grew up in and the Portland I arrived in just before it changed. In this society, you can get away with doing this sort of thing and not get beat up. And I'm not advocating for punching Nazis. I am not. I'm actually saying don't do that, because then they look sympathetic and they get more attention. This individual does not appear to be that variety of individual. This is a raw, non-productive internet troll trying to do the same thing in public. There's a very subtle difference. A person like me posting, ironically or as a joke to get a reaction out of people, praise Keck, There's an actual reasoning behind that, but it's still seen as alt-right now. In the past, it wasn't. It was us making fun of the alt-right. In fact, most of the alt-right at the time thought it was kind of stupid that it was being used and didn't like it, and said, yeah, Frogs is funny and Alex Jones is an idiot. And then eventually, no, they started embracing it, and now we can't do the jokes anymore. This individual is, I'm not saying a victim, but is a devotee of seeing public freak-out videos probably on the internet, finding out the easiest way to get a reaction out of people and manipulate a crowd is to scream neo-Nazi shit. And the easiest way to gain any attention on the internet is to do this sort of thing and let people record you. They will. They'll post it. I'm surprised they didn't yell his actual full legal name just to make sure they got it right. It doesn't matter what people are saying about you, just get your name right. Spell it right. This individual has been trying to sell a book. Nobody's bought it. It's a 500-page version of the history of the world, among 100 other things that are spouted. This individual seems to be throwing spaghetti at the wall of the internet, seeing what sticks, and then going for it. And found out, by hook or crook, that this works. He's also into space aliens and QAnon crap, probably. And that's about it. But this is the entire existence of this person. This individual has spent at least 2 years, probably longer than that, trying to get attention, trying to be an author, trying to be taken seriously. It is obvious that he's been trying to be taken seriously, and has found a way to promote himself. And you will see people, and it will be the mainstream media doing this. You will see people in the mainstream media saying that Twitter's blowing up about him. No, it isn't. Twitter doesn't ban people for posting horrible stuff anymore. Twitter doesn't block you from posting real, actual pornographic films 20 minutes long right now. Okay? Something happening on Twitter isn't an indication of how popular it is. No, I'm not kidding. Without logging into Twitter, you can go in and type in really obvious things and find pornography, and potentially even illegal pornography, because Elon Musk is ruining it. That's my idea of him ruining it. I don't care about the rest of it. People on the website are reposting this rant because it's just like any other public freakout. He is not blowing up on the internet because people agree with him or have sympathy for him. He's blowing up specifically on Twitter because Twitter isn't censoring it because they don't care. It's also on YouTube and nobody cares. I just heard of him today. And someone said, don't do a video on it because if you mention certain things, your channel will get banned. You can look up the links below to find out his name. I'll probably put it in the title of the video or in the thumbnail. I'd rather not. The individual has been declared to be mentally incapable of understanding enough to be legally able to be held accountable. If you're legally declared incompetent, I have a really hard time criticizing you. So what, again, this person is doing what will get a specific response. I'm assuming on a basal level that works for this individual. And maybe subconsciously he's found out that no matter how bad you are, as long as you don't do certain things, you'll probably survive the day and you might be better off for it. Anyway, this individual now has all the attention he wants. Nobody was paying attention. I checked the website he had, and there's an archive of a link below description. This individual does not have a history of being paid attention to at all. And the social media pages are so not search engine optimized, I can't find his social media pages. And from the snapshots I've seen, it's just him cutting and pasting the same stuff he did from his website that he either paid for or put together with a really cheap package deal. And according to terms of service and a couple of other things I found, everything he said is considered so mundane by today's standards of shit hitting the fan, they're probably not going to take down the page, and it probably won't get anybody flagged. Compared to real serious dangers on the internet of people doing horrible things or telling you to do horrible things, he would be considered a gnat on a windshield. Again, he did this for attention, he got it. Do you want to give him more? That's why I'm really reluctant to even bring his name up. And again, he was declared legally incompetent. He's picked fights with people, gotten in altercations, or one of them is claimed, again, it's all sealed, to be of a inappropriate nature in public. These are signs of a person acting out to get attention, and that's it. I don't know what else is going on with this individual, and the only thing we know is he went to 2 different schools in Washington State, and the only thing he's known about, besides writing a 500-page version of the history of the world he says he put out that nobody's buying, is him trying to get attention by doing a public freakout on purpose to become famous. Actually, at this point, the individual is over 18, and legally incompetent or not, I will actually use his full legal name in the title. And I'm going to say this up front. It would be legit by YouTube standards to technically flag the video because he's considered not responsible for his actions. But at this point, he's a public figure, whether the legal system wanted him that way or not. So I think it's important that the takeaway is he wouldn't have done this if the internet wouldn't have paid attention. So don't. In the future, to anyone. And last one. I'm supporting the idea that every mass shooter, until the court case is over with, isn't named except to say mass shooter and the century, year, month, day, hour, minute, and second they did it. It's just a string of numbers. They're anonymous. Why? Because they want to become famous, whether they're dead or alive after they do it. They always seem to want to be famous. Take it away from them. I wouldn't have said that in the past, but I'm starting to think that's a really good idea. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck.